All right. Welcome back to the stream. Welcome back to another video today. Super exciting because we've got a lot to unpack here. It looks like the Tesla Model 3 now qualifies in all trims for the massive $7,500 federal tax credit. If you don't know what that is, we'll talk about it. We'll talk about how you can actually qualify it just a little bit. And on top of that, today is Friday, so we are doing a giveaway. So if you want free 3M ceramic tint for your Tesla. Of course, you must be willing to travel to OC Tint Solutions in OC Anaheim, California. Then you can potentially win 3M ceramic tint installed and paid for on your Tesla Model 3, Model Y, S, and X. And we're gonna run that giveaway. I'm gonna give you the exact instructions on how to actually win that giveaway sometime throughout this live stream. But before we get into that, plus a variety of topics, let's roll that intro real quick. All right, so thanks for watching another stream. Thanks for watching another video. My name is Dennis, and I love talking about Tesla hacking, as I like to call it, but basically just getting the best deal on a Tesla at the best financing rate. So definitely hit that subscribe if you're interested. And today's video is actually sponsored by my Patreon link down below in the description, where you can get access to the ultimate Tesla buying guide out there with all the best interest rate, credit union rates for financing your Tesla. So definitely check it out. Patreon link down below in the description. And shout out to my latest Patreon member. We got Justin. Thank you for supporting. Thank you for joining on. And also spoke to Krishna, another Patreon member. Thank you for the call earlier today. We talked about a bunch of different things. Thank you. And definitely check it out. If you're interested, Patreon link down below in the description. But let us take a look at this. So of course, you know us, we've got Tesla always on our browser. This was yesterday's website. You can see a little bit of the old information. We've got the federal tax credit right here posted up in the top right corner, and it says up to $7,500 because as of yesterday, and actually we'll talk about if you bought a Tesla Model 3 even yesterday, even before a certain date, you actually also now just made yourself an extra $3,750 tax credit money, of course, as you qualify as an individual yourself. But you can see here now, yesterday, what happened was the Model 3 standard range and the Model 3 long range only qualified for a $3,750 tax credit. But we can hit the magical refresh button, and now all vehicles, all Model 3, Tesla Model 3s in all different 3 trims, Model 3 standard range, long range, performance, and of course we could throw it in there, the Model Y, also all qualify for a massive $7,500 federal tax credit. And the one thing here is there is price caps of the Model 3, so you cannot build it above $55,000. But this is crazy because this is 100% going to have some effects on the market, maybe because, you know, the Model 3, it's stale. I mean, we'll call it for what it is, right? Inventory is certainly at a high level. Shout out to mattjung.net for having this inventory chart. So this will do big things because hopefully, I mean, we'll see in these next few days, is Model 3 sales going to actually clear out now? Because it's a massive deal, depending on what your state you're in. When we'll review, there's 11 states where or 12 states where you can actually get an extra state incentive where it can push it to even more. But we spotted this. Shout out to Sawyer Merritt. He posted this about at least 3 or 4 hours ago. Breaking: Tesla says all new Model 3s in the US now qualify for the full $7,500 federal tax credit, meaning the Model 3 now starts at $32,740 with incentives. In some states you can get it for under $30K. But the magical thing here is that if you take a look at the inventory for Model 3, there are plenty of Tesla Model 3s already with a subtle discount of $2,400, and so $37,820 is your price, of course, before fees, taxes, or anything like that. Then you minus a $7,500 federal tax credit, then minus maybe even a state incentive. California, it's $2,000 for the CVRP. That puts you in the range of $27,000 to $28,000 as a price for a brand new Tesla Model 3 standard range, which basically pays for itself. I'm going to call it for what that is, because if you drive anywhere from like 12 to 15,000 miles a year, and if you've got a gas guzzling car that does like 20 miles per gallon, you're probably already spending $2 to $3, maybe even $400 a month on gas. So pretty fantastic that now Tesla vehicles are getting to a pretty low rates. And later on this stream, we'll talk about how much you can get down for a low monthly payment on a Model 3. Maybe if it's even in the $400 a month range. So it gets pretty low, and that's why I say it could certainly almost pay for it itself. But congrats to a lot of you, because there's probably a lot of you that just took delivery of a Model 3 pretty recently, maybe even earlier this year. And so if you look at what Tesla is saying, keyword here Tesla, they said, quote, for within this screenshot, which looks like to be a screenshot from the Tesla website, tax credit for each vehicle starting April 18th, 2023. So basically, if you took delivery after April 18th, then you're pretty much good, and you now qualify for the $7,500 federal tax credit. And if you're wondering, how can you take advantage of this tax credit now? Well, that's where channel sponsors like Tenet come into play. Tenet allows you to finance a Tesla or an electric vehicle with a low monthly payment, because they do this by allowing you to defer a portion of that loan all the way to the end, maybe even that $7,500 federal tax credit. They can do this because they work with banks and credit unions to provide you a deferred loan from that. And so you can do this. So if you are looking for a low monthly payment, definitely check out Tenet down below in the description. And thank you to Tenet for sponsoring this video and a bunch of videos this month for Tenet. So there is a strategy here where you use Tenet, maybe take advantage of the low monthly payment, get the tax credit next year, $7,500, and then maybe even refinance the whole thing when you're in a better situation. But definitely some pretty interesting stuff. Let me know what your thoughts on it. The one thing I do want to kind of point out, if you are interested in figuring out when the exact date or when this is actually going to be official on a government website, this is what you can take a look at. This is fueleconomy.gov, and this is where you can see all the different tax credits for all the different brands, makes, and models out there. And they still have not updated it with the Tesla Model 3 for the $7,500. So really the only source right now is Tesla posting the $7,500, but right here you can see on the screen that they have not updated just yet. Of course, this is updated as of yesterday, so I would probably expect this website to update with a clean sweep of $7,500 eligible on all vehicles, probably on Monday when they get back to work. But definitely some pretty interesting stuff. Let me know what your thoughts on it. Let me know what you're thinking. If you're confused on how the federal tax credit works, there's plenty of videos on our channel that talks about all the different income limits and everything like that. But basically, I like to try and think of it this way to help you clarify. Basically, if you're a W-2 income earner, each portion of your paycheck every single month or every single week or bi-weekly gets taken out, and a little bit of it is paid to the federal government, and that's what's considered as federal tax. Of course, I'm not a CPA, so to consider everything I say right here with a grain of salt. Definitely please consult a CPA. I'm just a guy on YouTube that has bought Teslas in the past, plenty of EVs, and has also taken advantage plenty of times, at least twice, of the $7,500 federal EV tax credit. But you can see right here, I put in an income limit of $75,000 as a single earner, and you can see your federal tax bucket is $92.68 for the year. So when you buy an electric vehicle, when you buy a Model 3 or Model Y right now, you get that full $7,500 federal tax back. It has nothing to do with what you owe or a refund or anything like that throughout the end of the year. It has everything to do with how much income you make as a W-2 individual and how much federal tax you pay through the years and also at the end of the year. And you can imagine, as your income limit gets a lot lower, then that's where you won't take advantage of the full benefit. You can see I put in the income right here, $50,000, and your federal tax liability is $4,241. So hopefully that clears it up for a lot of you. I still every single day get comments saying that on the videos talking about like if you don't get any refund back, then you're not going to get anything extra back, but it really has nothing to do with that. It's all about how much income you make and your current tax liability. But definitely some pretty interesting stuff. You know, shout out to Whole Mars Cartalog. He posted this where, of course, in the state of California, because there is a $2,000 CVRP credit for buying a Tesla Model 3 or a Tesla Model Y, now a Model 3 starts is around 29,270, which definitely a very nice price for an electric vehicle, an electric sedan, and you'll save a bunch of money, of course, not spending for gas, but you will still be paying for electricity and maintenance or anything like that. But definitely some pretty interesting stuff. Let me know what your thoughts are. Let me know what you're thinking. We've also got the giveaway later this stream, so definitely stick around if you're interested in winning 3M ceramic tint for your Tesla, sponsored by OC Tint Solutions and the owner Jason. So if you're interested in winning free 3M ceramic tint, definitely stick around. But we're going to jump into the next topic. But before we do that, this video is actually sponsored by my Patreon link. Down below in the description is the Patreon link where you support the channel. And there's a variety of benefits, but some of them include actually scheduling a call with me, where you can ask me any questions about buying a Tesla, selling a Tesla, or even financing a Tesla. And after you join the Patreon, you get a link to my buying guide, which is the ultimate Tesla buying guide out there that has links to all the credit unions and banks out there to get a low financing rate for your Tesla, lower than Tesla financing. So definitely check it out. Patreon link down below in the description. And as an added benefit, I do respond to all Patreon DMs or direct messages in the Patreon app. So definitely check it out. Patreon link down below in the description. All right.